Hello, is this James Stetson of Southern Professional Office Supply?
Well, yes, it is. Nice to meet you.
Hello, yes, I'm John from John Hill from Salesforce, and I believe you reached out to us concerning your company's internal sales system. Does that sound correct?
Yes, that does sound correct.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I take notes, by the way, before we continue?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've been looking into your company and after you contacted us and contacting some of your people, and I believe our sales force will be able to help your company with its current situation. And hopefully we can work through and really try to solve these problems that you're having. Oh, and before we go further, I will send you a follow-up email just covering what we've done, what we'll be doing today, and with my contact information because we can't send a business card right now.
All
And
right.
you can reach back to me with all the information provided. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
So when I investigated the company, I I already saw major problems that we are currently going through here. I talked to the VP of Sales Logistics, Brock, and one of the things Brock reported about was incorrect client billing and out of stock issues. The client billing, of course, causing problems as we have no idea what clients we're trying to reach, the clients that we're trying to sell to, who owes us money. So there's going to be losses there, but also the out of stock revenue. Um, that's going to be a lot of problems because not only do we have stock problems because we're not selling what we because we don't have it, we also have problems because people come and say, oh well, I can't buy it because it's out of stock, but then it turns out it is in stock. So those stock issues are causing us problems. Do you think 10 million in lost revenue would be too much for out of stock issues, both in and out?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What would you say out of stock problems are actually causing? If not 10 million.
Maybe around 9.
9 million. Okay, so we got 9 million in out of stock losses. Now, I also got in contact with Jerry Bennett. He's in charge of marketing and sales. He's the VP. He was also reporting lowered repeat follow-up sales from existing clients or clients that we sell to. And he was reporting that those losses could add up. So without repeat business, I had it at about 12 million for like a losing out on a client permanently. Do you think that's a bit too high, or do you want to? I think 12 million for a lost client works.
I actually think that works.
Okay, so 12 million for lost clients. And not only is that 12 million being lost, that's going to your competitors in addition to that, because this demand isn't gone. But lastly, I also got into contact with Caitlin Kirby in charge of finances and IT. And one of the things I was seeing was outdated retail locations that are in desperate need of upgrades with their sales systems. And that's causing inefficiencies and loss of revenue as well. I had that at about 9 million from inefficiency issues. Do you think that's too high?
Yeah, I think it's pretty high, but it sounds about correct.
Okay. So we got 9 mil there. And lastly, of course, we have the outdated internal data system, again from Caitlin. And that's, of course, just causing problems throughout the entire company. Everyone's feeling the effects of that outdated system. But not only do I see current problems, there's also future problems. Your company is planning on a massive move down to Florida that will be quite expensive. 3 new retail locations and 1 distribution center. Now you can correct me if you think these costs are a bit much or what's on the line. I have about 4 million in total salary divided between 51 new employees down in Florida. You agree with that?
Yes, that does sound pretty accurate.
I've also got land purchases, about 15 million for new land down in Florida for 3 centers in the distribution area.
Yeah, that sounds right on spot also.
5 million for any equipment that like moving the trucks and like the ability to like forklifts, moving large office furniture.
Yeah, that number sounds correct also.
Then we have the construction costs that are about 20 million.
Yes, construction's about that too.
Okay. And then of course you've got to ship new products down there. You can't just use your current inventory, you'd have to send new products.
Mhm.
New products are about another 25 million from various office furniture and office equipment to stock 3 retail stores and a distribution center.
Yes, it does sound correct also.
So that can cause us some problems as well, especially since your company is currently that's a lot of money on the line, and it's very difficult for your company to really keep an eye on all of that entirely, as this new center is put down in Orlando while you're headquartered up in Sandy Springs with a nearly 8-hour drive distance between the two areas. So there's a lot of investment going on the line, and it's going up pretty quickly with the investment. I've placed the investment plus 20 plus 20 plus 25. That's 65 plus 4. I got 69 million on total like expenditure in Florida with the money on the line. And that is a lot of money to lose, especially since we have existing issues within our company. As we mentioned earlier, we have about 30 million in already losses due to the inefficiencies in our current company. Do these numbers sound about right to you?
Yeah, those numbers sound correct also.
So we've got 30 million in losses currently, 69 in potential expenditures that we could lose down in Florida. And we can't really have these problems continuing into Florida. This is a chance to have tons of new clients, tons of new business partners and interactions, especially since our current headquarters is much more of a Georgia company. So we could really benefit from this move to Florida. Why I think Salesforce will be a very strong fit for your company. The first major problem we can solve is the ability to share files between various companies currently. We have 8 retail stores and 4 distribution centers scattered throughout Georgia that all require contact with one another to make sure sales can be met, demand can be met, and products can be delivered. So the ability to share files about like our current clients and our current companies will really help keep our stocks moving. In addition to that, Salesforce also comes with an inventory management system. It is completely automated with constant tracking of in and out stock as long as it's logged. And then after that, you can also have a manual employee check over to make sure all of the inventory is being properly allocated and managed to whatever your specifications are. We also have the consumer profiles. I've hinted at them already, but consumer profiles will allow your company to keep track of all the clientele. You service a lot of schools, a lot of big companies, the Atlanta Braves, practically several major businesses in Atlanta. And you're going to be adding a whole lot more as you fund various schools down in Florida and you talk to various sports teams and universities down in Florida. So you have a lot of new clients coming in addition to your existing old base, and Salesforce will be able to accommodate all of that really quickly. And lastly, as I also noted, your company's headquarters is located very far away from Orlando. I've driven from Atlanta down to Orlando. It's about 8 hours drive. And your closest distribution center that could theoretically support Orlando is about a 6-hour drive located in Macon. So the Orlando location is going to be pretty far away from the other major distribution centers. So the ability to communicate with headquarters and other retail stores is very important, which is why the chatter communication, I think, will be a great fit for your company as well, as it'll allow your employees to communicate on phone, desktop, laptop, you name it, they'll be able to communicate on it. Especially since you've had this very strong home office structure currently with the pandemic hitting and all that, where your employees are a bit more scattered than they normally are. So overall, I think that chatter feature will be really, really helpful. Does all of that sound good to you?
Yeah, those features sound great.
Okay. So lastly, we got to cover some costs. The major cost would be Salesforce profiles for each of your. I've added up the numbers. You currently have 160 new employees, but with the expansion into Florida, that number will jump to 211 employees. And the cost of one Salesforce per employee is $1,800. So you do the math on that, you end up with $379,800 in total cost for Salesforce. Meanwhile, the current inefficiencies we went over added up to about 30 million. We also have the potential in Florida, just alone with the cost of moving down there is 69 million. But there's also the prospect of the future revenue that we could lose down in Florida. You know, maybe we have 25 million in inventory, but we could sell it for about 50 million in revenue that we could theoretically lose out on if our inventory system does not properly account for it. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, that does sound correct.
Okay. Now, do you have any other questions about Salesforce or expenses or anything like that?
No, those points you made do sound correct.
Do you want to have a follow-up meeting about this if Salesforce is interesting to you?
Yes, I would like to have a follow-up meeting.
Okay, well, we can schedule that over email later. Are the various VPs going to be there, or your other executive board, or whoever else you need to be there? Because I can give this full presentation again if you need me to.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay. So that was our Salesforce. And if you have any questions, you can email me. Otherwise, I hope to hear back from you soon, and I'll prepare this presentation for your board next time.
Thank you for your presentation today. It was great talking to you, and we'll be in touch soon.